Hey everyone, Duke here, and with today bringing a refresh to the Prophecy weapons, along with being the release of the final Riven's Wish, I thought now was a perfect time to create a refresher guide for the Prophecy dungeon. This dungeon is free to all players, which makes it a great place for anyone to get their feet wet in endgame content. Also, I'll be doing helps and teaching this dungeon live over the next couple weeks on my stream at twitch.tv/dukeiscool, so come on by. Let's get right into it. The opening area of this dungeon is going to teach the main mechanic that will be used in every main encounter. There will be a number of taken knights in the area that will drop 3 motes each when killed. These knights can drop either light motes or dark motes, and the motes that they drop will be determined based on where you are standing when the knight dies. Not where the knight's standing, where you are standing. If you're standing in a lit up area when the knight dies, it will drop light motes, and if you're standing in a dark, shadowed area, it will drop dark motes. You can tell which motes it's going to drop by looking at the bottom left corner, kind of below where your ammo and your weapons are. If it's kind of got that little light, smoky aesthetic, you'll be in a light area. Or if it's got the dark, smoky aesthetic, you'll be dropping dark motes when you kill the knight. Honestly, it's a little hard to see in a lot of areas. I think it's just a little bit easier to just kind of see where you're standing and kind of go off of that. As mentioned, each knight will drop 3 motes when killed, and you need a total of 5 motes to create a big carryable mote. You will use this big mote to cleanse the light and dark smoky platforms near the door to open the door and progress. As you may expect, you'll need light motes to cleanse the light platform and dark motes to cleanse the dark. You can cleanse the smoke by standing on it and pressing your shoot button. Once you cleanse these first 2 smoky platforms, a new area will open up with another light and dark platform to cleanse. Cleanse these platforms in the same way to progress to the first encounter. Our first encounter is the Phalanx Echo. This encounter doesn't have any new mechanics, it just carries over the same mechanic from the first area into a boss fight. There will be a total of 4 platforms to cleanse, and once all 4 are cleansed, the boss's shield will go down and you'll be able to do damage. Swords are great for this encounter, both for DPS as well as a safeguard against getting booped off of the map by the Phalanx boss, as you can use it to counter some of the momentum. Do note that this room will shift a bit each time you cleanse a platform, so keep this in mind when killing the knights for the specific motes that you need. Also a note for all encounters, when picking up motes, you'll have 30 seconds before they expire and you lose them. However, picking up another mote will refresh this timer. Additionally, if you pick up a mote of the opposite type than you currently have, you will lose all of those previous motes. So for example, if you have 3 light motes and then pick up a dark one, you will now have the 1 dark mote only, so if you do kill a knight from the wrong spot or have teammates going for a different type of mote than you, just be careful to only pick up the specific motes that you are going for and that you need. After dropping down from the first encounter, you'll be in a big wasteland area. This part is super simple, just look for the area that has 3 big taken domes and destroy all of them. There'll be a few adds defending each section. You can kill as many of these or as few of these as you'd like. After destroying the 3 taken domes in that area, you'll notice a ball of light in the middle. Go near this ball of light and it will fly off in a different direction of the wasteland. You'll need to do this for 3 times and a total of 9 total taken domes destroyed in order to progress. After destroying the 9 taken domes, the light orb will appear near a small doorway to guide you to the next encounter. Our second encounter is the Cube Room Hexahedron. This encounter is going to combine the light and dark motes mechanic with the light orb mechanic from the Wasteland. We'll call this light orb Toland for ease of explanation for the rest of this encounter. There's a small addition to the Knights mechanic in this room as well. When the encounter starts, there will be 2 Hobgoblin snipers shooting from above. For each sniper that you kill here, 1 knight will spawn, and these are the knights that you need for the motes. You will get light and dark motes in the same way as before, and after killing a knight, then a Hobgoblin sniper will respawn. Basically, kill a sniper to spawn a knight, and kill a knight to then respawn a sniper. This will be true for the entire encounter. You'll notice that once again, there are 4 smoky platforms around the room to cleanse in this encounter. However, instead of cleansing all of them like before, you're actually only going to be cleansing 1 of them per room here. You will be able to tell the correct platform to cleanse by looking up about halfway on the wall above each of these platforms. The smoky platform that Toland appears above is the platform that you want to cleanse, so you'll want to check this first in each room so that you know what kind of motes that you need. After cleansing the correct platform, have your whole team go to the middle plate and you'll get lifted into the cube above, which will then spin and shift the room. If you cleansed the correct platform, you'll get the message, "This realm responds to your actions," and one side of the cube will light up. You'll need to do this for a total of 5 times, with the final rube then spawning in 2 taken mini-bosses to kill in order to finish the encounter. After completing this encounter, head back to the wasteland above where the chest spawned, and head right as the final boss leads you forward in the dungeon. There is a secret chest you can grab along the way here very easily as well, so make sure to grab it. Continue following the boss to the next area, which is the sparrow and jumping puzzle type encounter of this dungeon. There's not really any mechanics here, just follow the path through downwards towards the big pyramid in the distance. There's also no time pressure or requirement to be on your sparrow in this section. You can either use your sparrow or go on foot or any combination of the two. Do note that unfortunately there is a 45-second death timer if you die here though, so I'd recommend either staying together in case a res is needed, or just being extra careful to not die so you don't have to sit around doing nothing for so long. At the very bottom of the path in the final smaller pyramid is the second secret chest of the dungeon. There's a small hole in the corner to drop down into, which then you can just follow the path to grab the chest, and then double back once you've grabbed the chest and are ready to move on to the final area. When you get to the very final platform, there will be numerous rings that will elevate you into the final pyramid where you can find the final boss. Do note that if anyone struggles with some of these traversal-based encounters, pushing forward towards the final boss here will pull everyone forward. Also note that this elevator I've noticed has been glitchy for a very long time. A lot of times it'll help if you just get on and off your sparrow once or twice and then it'll shoot you up and you'll be good to go. Finally, we have the final boss, the Kel Echo. This encounter is broken up into 2 rooms and phases, with the DPS phase happening in a completely different area of the encounter. To start, you'll handle the same mechanic we've been doing the whole dungeon. There will be 3 light and 3 dark smokes to cleanse, 1 in each corner of the room. After cleansing each one, an ogre will spawn right behind where you cleansed it, and this will also remove that side's boss projection from the room, allowing you to have a side of cover. Cleanse the other 2 sides and take down the ogres in the same way, and then head to the middle of the room as a team to head down to the boss DPS room. You'll be able to do damage throughout the entirety of this room. It's a very long DPS phase, with the boss progressively teleporting further back in the room and spawning 2 snipers in from time to time. There's 2 new mechanics for this final room. First, the boss will shoot out a taken captain blast from time to time. If you get hit by this, you will be teleported backwards in the room, which can be disorienting, and also leads us to our second mechanic, Dark Entropy. You'll notice in this room that you'll start getting stacks of Dark Entropy. If you hit 10 stacks at any point, you will instantly die. The way this mechanic works is super simple though. If you're close to the boss, you'll lose your stacks of Dark Entropy, and if you're too far away from the boss, you'll start gaining stacks of Dark Entropy. You can tell how close you need to be by looking for a swirling big circle around the boss as it moves further into the room. You don't have to be that close, the circle is quite large, but just make sure you're keeping up with it. So basically you'll need to keep moving up and chasing the boss as it moves in order to stay close enough to not die to the Dark Entropy. And as mentioned, if you get hit by the taken captain blast, you'll be teleported back, which means you'll need to quickly catch back up, otherwise you will end up dying to the Dark Entropy. If you kill the boss before it disappears here, congratulations, you've completed the dungeon. Do note that there is no required amount of DPS phases though, so you can use the teleporter back up to the boss room at the far side of the room right behind where the boss leaves after it disappears to repeat the mechanics and get back for another damage round if needed. There are a few different room designs, so the only change on another phase would be the exact positioning you need for how to get the light and dark shadows to be in the right kinds of spots for the right kinds of motes. And that's all for today. I hope this video and refresher guide on the Prophecy Dungeon was helpful, and don't forget I will be doing helps on this dungeon pretty much all throughout March, going into the Light in April. We'll probably be focusing on more of that stuff again, but until then we'll be running Prophecy quite a bit and trying to get some of these new weapons. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.